fire.
Joe Biden was on fire.
You were on fire.
You brought that Irish fire tonight.
Fired us all up.
Biden was on fire.
At the top of his game.
He's on fire.
Smoking. He's on fire.
Robust and clear.
Join us tonight is Latoya Beasley. Emboldening others to do what they wish. Big landlords who use antitrust law, who break antitrust laws to make sure everyone has a fair shot. RGTP is up. I believe Roe v. Wade got it right. Guarantee the right to AVF so builders can get federally financing. Federal government over $1 trillion. $1 million. Millions of families can get, they need to go to work watching auto jobs in the future to instigate the collection.
Joe Biden's fiery and energetic performance.
Fiery and energetic.
Fiery and energetic.
Energetic and fiery.
Energetic and fiery.
Fiery, energized.
That fiery energy.
Biden was energetic and fiery.
High energy and fiery.
He had that fire in the belly.
Right? I mean, he had that fire in the belly.
Stamina and the fire in the belly.
He clearly has the stamina.
He has the stamina and the energy. The fire in the belly to show that he has the energy and the fire in the belly to serve another term.
To pursue a career in service.
And none of us are talking about age this morning because of the fiery performance.
Look, people have had a lot of questions about President Biden, whether it's about his age or ability, but I think he put those to rest last night. I think it was fiery.
Very fiery.
It was forceful.
Forceful. Fiery. Forceful and fiery. State of the Union.
Forceful.
Biden was forceful.
Joe Biden forcefully answered the pundits who say he is too old.
Anyone who watched that speech saw Biden is strong.
His voice was strong. So strong.
Very strong.
He seemed to get stronger.
Like the stronger he is, the stronger he gets.
Strong at the beginning, strong in the middle, strong at the end.
Strongest speech.
Really projecting strength.
With strength.
Pretty strong. Strong and boisterous.
Very strong.
Really strong.
Biden proved he has the strength and mental agility to be an effective president.
President Biden's fiery State of the Union speech.
The man Trump belittles as Sleepy Joe seemed quite fiery.
So much for Sleepy Joe.
He wasn't Sleepy Joe Biden, but he was fiery.
President Biden's fiery.
Fiery State of the Union address.
And if you watch that speech, you'd have no doubts Biden is going to win this election and then have a great second term.
There is no other path that guarantees that Palestinians can live in peace with peace and dignity.
I thought he was extraordinary in terms of articulating.
It's transformative in humanitarian crisis. Overwhelmingly benefit the top 1%.
Biden articulating very clear.
Hamas ended this conflict by releasing hostages, laying down arms, could end it by releasing the hostages, laying down arms, and surrendering.
He could not have made it clearer. He could not have done it better. And he did an unbelievable job last night.
Well, I've always known what endures toward an enduring, something more enduring.
So powerful. So powerful.
I would respectfully suggest my Republican friends, my God, what freedom else would you take away?
Very powerful last night.
He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me.
One of the finest moments of Joe Biden's presidency.
The leadership of Israel, I say this. I'd be a winner, not really.
The incumbent president shows no signs of slowing down.
Biden's commanding an energetic speech. Energetic and fiery.
Energetic and fiery. Fiery and energetic. State of the Union.
Fiery and energetic.
Fiery.
Fiery, often combative
Fiery,
speech.
often combative speech.
Fiery and at times combative.
Fiery and at times combative speech.
Fiery, at times combative speech.
Fiery and combative. Fiery, combative.
He was fiery, he was combative. He was even combative. And fiery, this fire, incredibly feisty, fiery. President Biden.
But Israel has a
Fiery speech.
A fiery address.
Fiery.
Fiery.
Fiery speech.
That fiery speech.
Fiery President Biden.
Fired up. Fired up.
Fiery State of the Union address.
President Biden. Fired up. Very fired up President Biden.
Definitely fired up.
Fired up.
Fired up.
Biden.
Fired up.
Fired up. To fire up.
President Biden's
Fiery State of the Union. Fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery State of the Union.
Fiery State of the Union address.
That speech was still very fiery.
Very fiery. Fiery. Fiery State of the Union.
President Biden was quite fiery.
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 The president's fiery. And fiery spirit.
Delivering a fiery State of the Union address. Fiery State of the Union address. Off to a fiery start.
Often fiery.
President Biden was fiery.
Delivering a fiery address.
Fiery President Biden.
Fiery.
Downright fiery State of the Union address.
That was a remarkable, fiery, vigorous guy.
It was a vigorous speech.
He was vigorous.
Vigorous.
He certainly was vigorous.
Very vigorous.
Vigorous and fierce.
The vigor in his voice. He was vigorous. The vigor.
There was no question that he was vigorous.
Yeah, there's no question. That was a vigorous, fiery speech from President Biden. He was on fire. He was on fire last night. That kind of fiery way. Fiery. He's fiery Joe. Keep being fiery.
He was fiery.
Fiery.
Joe Biden, comfortable, fiery, dominant.
After a fiery State of the Union address.
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 Fiery State of the Union address. Fiery State of the Union address. Fiery State of the Union address. Fiery State of the Union. Fiery State of the Union.
President Biden delivers a fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery State of the Union speech. He was fiery.
Fiery.
Fiery. He hit it out of the park.
He knocked it out of the park. Home run.
The president knocked the speech out of the park. He was fiery.
And our ability to have children in the future were at risk.
That was just one of President Joe Biden's many fiery messages from his fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery President Joe Biden.
Biden delivering a
Fiery State of the Union.
Fiery Joe Biden.
Delivered a fiery State of the Union address.
That fiery State of the Union address.
A fiery President Biden
Delivered a fiery State of the Union address.
His very fiery
State of the Union address.
President Joe Biden came out fiery, came out fired up.
Fiery and forceful.
Fiery Joe Biden unleashes a
fiery State of the Union.
A fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery 67 minutes.
President Biden
Delivered a fiery State of the Union address. A fiery and at times combative
fiery State of the Union address. Delivering a fiery message.
Fiery, fierce, and fiery.
A fiery State of the Union address.
Fiery State of the Union address.
A fiery speech.
Fiery speech.
Fiery State of the Union speech.
His fiery speech. Fiery speech, the Democrats hope, will put to rest questions about his age and energy.
He is 82 years old, but
He was fiery tonight.
I know their 98-year-old guy that I work with, and he's answers his own phone and runs his own business. I mean, so he did a good job tonight.
President Biden dispelled the narrative that he's too old with a fiery State of the Union.
Instead of paying politics a transformational moment in history, happened 59 years ago today. But if it's only 6 weeks, and my message to transgender Americans,
Apparently, the word of the night and still this morning seems to be fiery.
Yeah, you were on fire. You were on fire.
Nobody's going to talk about cognitive impairment now.
Yeah, you were on fire.
I want competition with China, not conflict. And we're in a stronger position to win the conflict of the 21st century against China than anyone else, for that matter, than any time as well.
Fresh off that fiery address.
Fresh off his fiery State of the Union address.
Fresh off last night's fiery State of the Union address.
Fresh off that fiery State of the Union address.
Fresh off the fiery campaign-style address.
Fresh off of his fiery State of the Union address.
President Biden is fresh
off the fiery State of the Union address.
President Biden is
fresh off of a fiery State of the Union address. The president
Fresh off that fiery State of the Union address.
His fiery State of the Union speech Thursday, further boosted by a sizzling February jobs report.
His fiery State of the Union speech further boosted by a sizzling February jobs report.
His fiery State of the Union speech Thursday to boost by a sizzling February jobs report.
Further boosted by a sizzling February jobs report Friday.
Fresh off his fiery State of the Union address.
Following his fiery State of the Union address.
His fiery State of the Union message.
Fiery State of the Union address.
His fiery State of the Union address.
Last night in the U.S. Capitol, the same building where our freedoms came under assault on July the 6th, January the 6th, I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor.
Beautiful video.
Whoever made that, it's spectacular.
Man, this